My final guest's portrayal of the ultimate double-crossing, no-good swindler gained him infamy all over the world, as he revealed to me back in 1986. It's now seen worldwide, Dallas. You get feedback from weird places.
Oh, yeah, sure. And Japanese and Chinese and Italian. I'm very good in Italian.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm better in Italian than I am in English, let me tell you.
What do you like in Italian?
Oh, he's a wonderful guy. He's got a great voice. And he does Mastroianni and those kind of, he's really good. And he makes it so important.
Yeah. Can you, you've watched it? I mean,
Yeah.
how does he sound?
He sounds romantic, important. He talks like that. Oh, it's wonderful.
And the Japanese? Have you seen yourself in the...
Oh, yeah! That's what I sound like over there. I like that, too. That's macho.
That's pretty much,
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the one and only Larry Hagman. As you will see, in tribute to you, there are several, I don't know whether we can get a shot of them, several members of the audience wearing Stetsons in tribute.
Yeah,
Please stand up, gentlemen, so we can see you.
There you go. Well done. Well done.
That's fantastic. So what do you think, after all these years, on reflection, and a highly intelligent man like yourself?
He said, what do you think after all these years reflecting on yourself?
What do you think? I'm beginning to lose the will to live. What do you think the appeal was of J.R.? I mean, a nasty piece of work. Why did audiences around the world respond to him?
Well, I don't know. He was just a Texas businessman and a family lover of his family and business, not necessarily in that order. And what they've been saying, I've been listening to them, all lies.
It was well documented that it was your wife, Mai, that made you take this part.
Yes, yes, yes. I was in New York, out of work, broke. Got 2 scripts, a half-hour comedy, and Dallas. And my wife took Dallas into another room and read it, and I read the comedy. It wasn't very good, and I said, I don't want to do it. And I heard this, whoop, Larry, this is it. I said, what is it? She says, there's not one nice, redeeming character in the whole show. And even Bobby was a scoundrel. And then it all trickled down to me, luckily.
Yeah. It was 20 years since we had that interview.
Is it?
God help us, yeah. Christmas it was.
Oh, God, I haven't changed a bit.
But in your own wholesome and modest way, the show revolved around you. You must have created a frisson of fear every time you walked onto the set. I mean, they mightn't have liked you at all, but they could have been pretending, just to curry favor.
I think they were. I think they. No, it was. We had so much fun on the show that I never felt anything but love for these guys.
Mid-level management was afraid of Larry.
Mid-level
Seriously.
management.
Mid-level management.
As they should have
As
been.
they should have been. Because he would do anything to keep the show pure to what it was supposed to be. And when he saw them screwing up, they were terrified. Because he could have anybody fired up there.
Well, were you happy about the shower? About the year-long show?
Oh, I loved it. I mean, we couldn't figure out any other way of getting him back on the show. And it wasn't any fun without him. I mean, we had a year of just boring, bad taste stuff. And I missed him to play with. I mean, off stage, you know, I mean, we had a good time. And when he came back on, it was as much a surprise to me as it was to anybody else. Who could ever figure out the shower scene? I mean, really. we lost some viewers, but we gained 5 years.
Yes.
And those were all productive years for us.
Well, as we've seen, you were a hated figure. Did the public stop you in the street and
Only one. I only had trouble once. My wife and I were having lunch at a restaurant down there. I could see out of the corner of my eye, there's a little old lady over there, and she had one of those walkers, you know. And I said, "Ma, she's going to come over and ask for an autograph." And so she took a few minutes getting over to me. And she says, "You rascal, how could you treat Sue Ellen like that?" And she hauled off with her handbag and hit me. And knocked me off my chair. Really. I mean, really, I saw stars. And she says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. My husband, before he died, gave me this 38 pearl-handled 38 pistol, and I forgot it was in my bag." And he hit me with about a 4-pound gun. And that's the only time I ever had any trouble. 84-year-old woman. And then she asked me for my autograph.
Well, it's just time for us to take a 10-gallon tea break now. Join us in a couple of minutes. A bit more chat. We'll force it out of them. Larry, Linda, and Patrick.
Okay.
You can't talk to Larry Hagman like that.
Yes, he can. Everybody else does.
He can do it because Larry can't hear him.
Welcome back to a special Dallas edition of Wogan Now and Then. And while you were away, Patrick Duffy, Linda Gray, and Larry Hagman joined me for a go on the bucking bronco. I stayed on the longest. The storyline which really turned Dallas on its head was Who Shot J.R.? Seen by 300 million. More people in America watched that than voted in the election.
Oh,
did you know that?
God.
And for good reason.
At the time, did it seem a fairly extreme way to try and get ratings?
Oh, yes. Yes. When J.R. was shot, I figured it was a good time for me to make my move. I got a little greedy, and how that came about was we had a Bible, and we did the 22 or 26 shows, I think, and they wanted 2 more. And so they said, "What are we going to do?" And they said, "Well, we'll just write him. We'll write those 2 shows. We'll shoot the son of a bitch at the end. We'll figure out what to do later." And they did. And so I figured, well, this is time to make my move. So I asked for a little more money. Not much, just a little. And so they were kind of reticent to do that. And so all my agents of white Stetsons, and they went into CBS and started to dicker. And I came to England because I had spent 5 years over here in the Air Force out at Ruislip, and I married my wife here. So, I mean, I knew London. It was my home, really, from the time I was 19 till I was about 25. And so I stayed here and dickered with them, and so I felt at home here. I felt comfortable. Oh, and I went to Ascot, which is running now.
We met at Royal Ascot.
Yeah, right, that's right.
And you came and you threw money in all directions.
Yes.
Fake money with your face on.
Still do. Still do.